Salut YouTube, welcome back to the Not Even French channel. Today's video is an interesting one. It's a little bit different because I kind of set a challenge for myself. So if you've been watching my channel over the past 3 years, you'll know that I very rarely talk about French language learning apps. And it's not because I have anything against them per se. I think they are an important part of the French learning ecosystem. However, I have struggled to find one that feels really holistic and complete. One that actually gets you actively learning the language and not just passively, right? Because we all know, at least this is what I experienced, it's so much easier to understand information, to consume it, to be able to read it, to be able to listen to it. But when it comes to actually producing the language, which is what you need to do to communicate, apps have always sort of fallen a little bit short for me. And it's not like there's not apps out there that do an okay job and get you writing sentences and stuff like that. That does exist. But the next thing is that the kind of sentences they get you to write, like some of the apps out there, and I'm sure if you've been learning a second language, you know the one I'm talking about. The sentences are like, the cheese is good, although it is old. I do not know the bird. The dog was wearing shoes. And so when Speaky reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to try their app and give their app a go, I was in two minds because on one hand, I'd heard a lot of good things about it. But on the other, I was like, is it just gonna be one of those things where, yeah, it's fun, it's gamified, there's a bit of repetition, but I don't actually improve my French. It doesn't actually help me to retain or speak the language. But then when they explained to me what makes them different, I have to admit, I was really intrigued because it's been developed over the past 5 years by polyglots, by people who can actually speak several languages alongside researchers and scientists. And what they've done is they've taken the most statistically relevant words, the words that will actually come up in daily conversation more often than others, and you learn them in order of importance. So they front load the words that you'll need to use most of the time, and then they fill in the gaps later on the line as you get more advanced. And what this means is when you progress through the app, you'll see that you've learnt, say, 1,700 words. And with those words, you're actually able to manage about 77% of day-to-day life conversations and situations. And I thought, whew, that is so smart and so pragmatic. And I definitely wanted to give it a go. So I said, yes, I'll try the app out. I'll give it 3 weeks. So I tried it every day for 3 weeks. And I want to let you know what I found, especially as my French is a little bit rusty, so definitely needed a top up. Did I see a measurable difference in my French? Now, because I am collaborating with Speaky on this video, don't forget to check out the description box and the first comment. I've pinned it down below as well because I have a 40% off code for you to be able to learn your chosen language. However, of course, my opinions in this video are completely my own and genuine, and I'm going to share with you exactly what I experienced, what I liked, what I didn't like, and what I experienced in this challenge that I set for myself. But before I do, please comment down below. Let me know if you are currently learning a language, and if so, which one it is. I know that Speaky does French, Estonian, Russian, Spanish, Italian, German, and Finnish. So if you're learning any of those ones, let me know. Okay, so let's talk first impressions. So when you log into the app, you're greeted with the message, learn languages 5 times faster. That's their tagline and that's their claim based on the studies that they've done of people using their app, okay? So this is really interesting. I'm already, feeling the anticipation. And then once you log in, they get you to do a placement test. And by doing the placement test, they assign you a level. Now, there are so many levels on this app. What I really like is there's a big beginner and intermediate section, but there's also 3 whole levels for more advanced French as well, which is really good because a lot of the other apps just go up to sort of B1, B2 level. So as you go in, you'll continue studying, and they're really focused on particular words that they're trying to put into your memory. So as I go through this, the word of the sentence is voir. They want me to learn the word voir. So they give me, context in a real sentence that people would actually use. And what's super cool is that along the way you unlock what's called live situations. So you're going through and you unlock live situations, which are real interactions that you could come by in everyday life. So for example, you run into your neighbor in your apartment block and they tell you a little bit about their life and you share a little bit of yours and that kind of stuff. So when you hop into the live situations, I'll show you what I mean.
Tu as entendu que Paul et Valérie sont ensemble maintenant?
Yeah, so this is a friend saying to me, have you heard that Paul and Valerie are together now? And then it wants me to say back, really? I always thought that they're so different.
Vraiment? J'ai toujours pensé qu'ils sont si différents.
And so now I have to say it. Vraiment? J'ai toujours pensé qu'ils sont si différents. Ah, see, I got that wrong because I pronounced the T indifferent. That's an English hangover for you. Try again. Vraiment, j'ai toujours pensé qu'ils sont si différents. Yay, got it. And as you can see when you're back on your homepage, it says you've learnt 1,696 words. And when you tap on that, that's 78% of any real life situation. Like, how cool is that as you go up? It's so practical. So you know that you're in safe hands because it's using the combination of their research, their science, and their algorithms to basically make sure that you're learning the 4,000 most statistically relevant words in your target language. And the algorithm prioritizes them on their real life relevance, which is really handy, and it's why their sentences and their live situations are so realistic. Another thing that's really cool is that when you log in, you can set your language learning goals and your progression goals. And you can set a reminder so it reminds you every single day to practice. So I committed to 10 minutes a day. And in 10 minutes a day, I had the alarm go off, and it's so good at building the habit, because the problem being is that time just goes by, right? If you don't prioritize it, if you don't physically make time for it in your calendar, all those things that you want to get done, all those goals that you want to achieve just aren't going to happen. So that worked really well as well. And what was nice is that straight away, because of the app design, I was immersed in real life situations. It's very immersive in that through the live situations, through the sentences you're writing, through the sentences you're speaking, it's very realistic. And like, even to the point where as you progress, you unlock French songs on Spotify. Like, how cool is that, you know? And you're unlocking these songs that you can listen to and understand the lyrics at your level. Just so cool. So yes, it's playing on an app. Yes, it's gamified, but it just feels quite authentic and natural somehow in terms of a language learning experience. And this is like an example of how the app is a little bit more challenging than the standard and a little bit more active. Like, already I've jumped in and it's a speaking exercise. And it says, let's try to form the sentence. I fell off my bike this morning. So you tap to continue and they give you a hint, and it's just a few letters, and you have to figure out what it is and you have to speak it. You actually have to produce the language as you go. Okay, so I'm going to attempt it. Je suis tombée avec mon vélo ce matin.
Je suis tombée avec mon vélo ce matin.
Ding! Cool. And then as you go, this is quite interesting as well. You have to choose whether certain exercises were hard or easy. And I found that one quite easy, so I'll select that. And then what it will do is actually learns with you. So if you are learning faster than the average, or you're finding it a little bit harder to keep up, it will constantly adjust as to where you're at. Now this one, voice, I have to choose the right spelling. So she has a beautiful voice when she sings. So voix, I know this ends in an X, so it must be this one. And you select it, it's the correct one, and it says it out loud for you as well, so you can constantly hear that French. This one, it's getting you to actually spell, so it wants me to type out, it's her first year in the university.
C'est sa première année à l'université.
And that's cool that they put the accents on the screen as well, so you don't need to worry about those. Oh, I've unlocked a new live situation. What's it gonna be? Première voiture, so first car. So it says, to say that you like cars is an understatement. You're passionate about cars. And it seems that your new friend is as passionate about them as you are. Okay, so we're talking about cars in this situation. This isn't really like me, but let's go.
Quand est-ce que tu as eu ton permis de conduire?
When did you have your driver's license? Okay, so what am I going to have to say? I have to say in French, I got my driver's license when I was 21.
J'ai eu mon permis de conduire quand j'avais 21 ans.
They get their driver's license pretty late in France, actually. I think it's 18. I had mine at 15. Alright, so now I have to speak it. J'ai eu mon permis de conduire quand j'avais 21 ans. Yeah, first try. Okay, it's coming back to me.
Super, moi aussi. C'est quoi ta première voiture?
Super, moi aussi. C'est quoi ta première voiture? Okay, I'm gonna have to say my parents gave me a present and bought me a new car.
Mes parents m'ont fait un cadeau et m'ont acheté une nouvelle voiture.
Mes parents m'ont fait un cadeau et m'ont acheté une nouvelle voiture. Woohoo! Now, what I found with this app as well is that it's pretty strict with your pronunciation. If it doesn't hear my le or la strong enough, or Paul instead of Paul, it really would pick up on that. It's quite sensitive, which is good. So as you can see, this app is really good at actually getting you actively working with the language, producing the language. And I have to admit that after playing with it 10 minutes every day for 3 weeks, I saw a difference. I started thinking in French again, and I found myself not having to look at the subtitles as much when we were watching series. And also when it was unlocking French songs, it had me listening to them on Spotify and stuff like that. So quite honestly, I was impressed. And I wasn't expecting to be, but I was. The one thing I would say is that a lot of these exercises that I've shown you today, they're obviously pretty easy for me, and that's because I got placed at intermediate 3, and not to brag, but I do think that I should have been in a more advanced level, but I made 2 silly mistakes in my placement test, like a spelling mistake and then a pronunciation thing. And that is one thing I would say about the app, is that although you can say, okay, I'm finding this easy, I'm finding this easy, I'm finding this easy, I haven't found a way to be able to just change my level. Like I want to be able to go up to advanced, and it says I have to study more to unlock, which is a bit frustrating because I'm finding this really easy and I should be advanced. So I would just say when you're using this app to make sure that you really concentrate while you're doing your placement tests so that it can really put you at the right level, because then it might take a while to actually unlock where you should be. So overall, yeah, it's a really good language booster. It's fun, it's nice to use, and I think it's a really great tool to have in your ecosystem. And overall, I think that if you're using something like this every single day, and then, you try to at least once a month, say, jump on, a group class or a private tutor, whatever that looks like, and actually speak with a native speaker, plus all the usuals, watching YouTube, listening to music, listening to podcasts, whatever you can do to contribute to your French language learning. But I think you'll be pretty golden. It's really impressive. So if you want to give Speaky a go, as I said, check the link out in my description box down below and the comment that I have written and pinned in the comment section as well. I've got all 8 languages available for you and 40% off every single language. All you have to do is download the app, create your Speaky account, choose the language that you want to study, choose the study plan, and then enter your special code to get your discount. And that is how you can enjoy the premium version of Speaky. Cool friends, so go download the app, let me know what you think. I hope that you found this useful. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. And otherwise, I'll see you next time. Merci d'avoir regardé cette vidéo et à bientôt!